Hey there, story seekers. Picture this. It's 1776, and a group of rebels are hunched over a rickety table in a candlelit room, their quills scratching out ideas that will echo through history. They're not just drafting a document, they're forging the foundation of a nation. Welcome to Beyond Insight Stories, where today we're diving deep into the American political system and its wild, messy, utterly fascinating history. Buckle up, because this journey is going to blow your mind. Let's kick things off with the big picture, the US federal system and economy. Think of the United States as a massive puzzle. Each state is a piece, distinct yet interlocked under one federal government. This system wasn't an accident. It was born out of necessity. After declaring independence from Britain in 1776, the Founding Fathers faced a dilemma. They'd just fought a war to escape the iron grip of a distant king, so they refused to let one central power dominate everything. Their solution? A federal system that splits power between the national government and the states. The federal government takes on the heavy lifting. Think national defense, foreign policy, and interstate commerce, while states handle local matters like education, public safety, and even marriage laws. It's a delicate balance, and let me tell you, it's been a bumpy ride for over 200 years. Now let's talk about the money side of this federal system, the US economy. The federal government has the power to tax, spend, and regulate trade across state lines. But states aren't just sitting on the sidelines. They've got their own taxing powers and economic policies. Picture it like a family budget. The parents, the federal government, cover the big expenses like the mortgage and groceries, while the kids, the states, manage their own pocket money for things like school projects. But this setup has sparked some heated debates. Take the New Deal in the 1930s, for example. When the Great Depression hit, President Franklin D. Roosevelt pushed for federal programs to get people back to work, things like Social Security and infrastructure projects. Some states loved it, others cried federal overreach. Fast forward to today, and we're still arguing over the same stuff. Should the federal government set a national minimum wage, or should states decide? What about healthcare? These debates show just how alive and messy this federal system is. Let's step back in time to the roots, the foundations of American politics. The US political system wasn't cooked up overnight. It was built on big ideas from Enlightenment thinkers like John Locke and Montesquieu. Locke argued that governments exist to protect natural rights, life, liberty, and property. Montesquieu added the idea of separating powers to prevent tyranny. The Founding Fathers were obsessed with these concepts. They also drew from their own experiences in the colonies, where they'd been running local assemblies and town halls for decades. By 1776, they were ready to take those ideas and build something new. But let's be real, their vision of liberty had some serious blind spots. The Declaration of Independence might have said, all men are created equal. But that didn't include women, enslaved people, or Native Americans. In fact, at the time of the Constitution's signing, nearly 700,000 people were enslaved in the US. That's about 18% of the population. The 3/5 Compromise, which counted enslaved people as 3/5 of a person for representation in Congress, shows just how deeply inequality was baked into the system. It's a hard truth, but a crucial one. American politics began with a promise of freedom, even if it took centuries and a civil war to start making that promise real for everyone. Now let's get to the star of the show, the Constitution. Signed on September 17, 1787 in Philadelphia, this document is the bedrock of the American political system. It's not just a piece of paper, it's a living blueprint that's been amended 27 times to keep up with a changing world. The Constitution created 3 branches of government to keep power in check. The legislative branch, Congress, makes laws. The executive branch, the president, enforces them, and the judicial branch, the Supreme Court, interprets them. This system of checks and balances is pure genius. Congress passes a law, but the president can veto it. The president appoints judges, but Congress has to approve them. The Supreme Court can strike down laws as unconstitutional, like they did with school segregation in Brown versus Board of Education in 1954. It's a constant push and pull, ensuring no one branch gets too powerful. But the Constitution wasn't perfect from the start. When it was first ratified, it didn't even include a Bill of Rights. People were livid. They wanted their freedoms guaranteed in writing. So in 1791, the first 10 amendments were added, protecting essentials like free speech, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms, and the right to a fair trial. Here's a wild fact. The Constitution is the oldest written national constitution still in use today, over 230 years old. It's guided the US through the Civil War, the Great Depression, 2 world wars and more, but it's also been a battleground for change. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery in 1865, the 19th gave women the right to vote in 1920, and the 26th lowered the voting age to 18 in 1971. Each amendment tells a story of a nation wrestling with its ideals. Let's zoom in on one more piece of the Constitution: Federalism in action. Article 1, Section 8 gives Congress powers like regulating commerce and declaring war, but the 10th Amendment reserves all other powers to the states. This is why states can have such different laws, like how marijuana is legal in California but not in Idaho. It's also why the Electoral College, set up by Article 2, gives states a huge role in choosing the president. Each state gets electors based on its congressional representation, which is why small states like Wyoming still have a say compared to giants like California. But this system isn't without flaws. Critics argue it gives too much power to smaller states, and that's why some elections, like 2016, saw the popular vote winner lose the presidency. So what does all this mean for us today? The American political system is a living experiment, full of contradictions, compromises, and constant evolution. It's a story of power, balance, and the ongoing fight to make liberty and justice for all more than just words. Here at Beyond Insight Stories, we're passionate about uncovering the tales that shaped our world. If this dive into US politics sparked your curiosity, hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring history's most captivating chapters together. Thanks for watching, Story Seekers. See you in the next adventure.